Building is one of the most integral parts of Azur Lane, bringing the hearts of many around the world to build some overly proportional waifus or some illegal lollies they lust over in their alone time. Though if one is unlucky in obtaining their beloved, one may become enraged and start losing their ways, becoming one with the pay-to-win faction. And with around 600 ships in the game and rising, it's easy for one to fall from such grace. So I am here to take a stand and change the way you see Azur Lane by eliminating the use of wisdom cubes in order to show that one should show joy with what they already have. This means that during this quest, I'm unable to build, do cube analysis projects, or make any PR ships. The goal? Completing the main story relying on purchasable and droppable ships only. The quest is not going to be an easy one, but it will be for the greater good of the Azur Lane community. I'm your Commander Volcan, and this is the Cubeless Warrior Challenge. Welcome to episode 4 of the Cubeless Warrior Challenge. I'm excited to be here, and hopefully y'all are too. Today, there's going to be a lot of stuff to do, a lot of things to cover and explain, and a lot of things to show y'all, so I'm very excited. We are going to be grinding through the campaign, specifically through Chapter 7 and Chapter 8. Then we will be doing the Visitors Died in Red War Archive. And lastly, we will be doing some Operation Siren a little bit and some 5-4 farming or some quadruple 40mm Bofors anti-air gun. So without further ado, let's not get started, because before we actually dive into the juice and the meat of today, first of all, I just want to thank all the new subscribers that came from the previous episodes of this series. It means a lot to me. Thank you guys so much, and keep up the support. Also, as a reminder, I will be announcing the winner of the last competition at the end of the video, so make sure you guys watch through the entire video so you don't miss out on who the winner is. So let's go ahead and talk about the new ships I acquired and kind of the things that I did during my off time. The most important thing that I did during my off time was the Atelier Ryza collab event. I did end up being able to successfully grind through that event. It took me a long time, a lot of T4 farming, a lot of just farming in general. I think I ended up wasting like 25k oil within like a 2-day time span. I honestly don't know how I did that, but I successfully farmed the event, got everything I needed. So we ended up getting all the modules, all of the unique gear, as you can see here. I think I equipped some already to some of the ships, and we did end up grabbing Claudia Valence and Kala Ideas. I also did grab Chaser from the guild shop before she was moved back into the construction pool. We did end up getting some pretty decent ships while farming for the collab. So we did end up getting Deutschland, Nelson, Saratoga, Queen Elizabeth, Shigure, and Z1. Most importantly, I think Z1, Queen Elizabeth, and Shigure are all going to be pretty solid pocket picks, or could be useful picks. Saratoga is pretty solid, especially with the retrofit, but I feel like with the amount of carriers we already have and the fact that I feel like she won't be that strong of an improvement on our fleet right now, I feel like it's not really worth leveling up Saratoga. Now, of course, I would love to replace Lexington with Saratoga because I feel like Saratoga is just better, but I feel like the investment isn't worth it at this point in time. We also did end up getting Fortune Meta from the cruise missions as well. I haven't play tested her at all, so I don't know if she's good. Hopefully she is, or at least kinda useful, because Hunter meta is going to start to fall off from this point onwards, I feel like, so I need to start finding a replacement for her. But those are all the noteworthy ships that I have grabbed. The only other thing I really did was I did just keep farming up in 3-4, and I keep doing the hard mode on 3-4, mainly for the chance to grab Akagi, because I do want to use Akagi and Kaga. They are pretty solid during the end game from what I have been told. They'll be a decent pickup. It's going to be very hard to get, very RNG, so I'm just going to like slowly but surely grind my way to get Akagi. Panning over to our two main fleets, our ship average is between levels 80 to level 100, and we are replacing some of our units that we were using previously, such as Hunter Meta, Lexington, and Prince Eugen, and I guess Cleveland as well. There's a good chance we won't use any of them, mainly because I want to use some of our newer units so I can start leveling them up instead of just solely leveling them up in the dorm. So So Claudia Valance, Cala Ideas, Minneapolis, we're going to start using today, and I've decided to use Portland because someone in the comments told me that Portland retrofit is actually pretty solid, probably is better defensively than Prince Eugen. So we're going to be using Portland and hopefully finishing up her retrofit tree as well. And speaking of retrofits, we did complete our first retrofit. Hideo is completely retrofitted up. The play would have been to retrofit Unicorn, but since Hideo is the main character of the series, I decided to retrofit Hideo first, and obviously we will retrofit Unicorn second. And while we do those, we'll start to retrofit Helena, Javelin, and Portland. That's our ships. And now in terms of the dorm, because I did talk a little bit about the dorm yesterday, I did go ahead and buy a furniture set. This is the Ironblood Winery. It's about 1,000 coins or something. Pretty boring. You can't really interact with anything except for this one stool. Yeah, I don't know. Like ideally you would want these barrels to be interactable, but they're not, which is weird. But anyway, I decided that I'm gonna go ahead and buy 2 dorm sets, one for the first floor, one for the second, and then I am going to start buying individual pieces of furniture that increase my mood, mainly because I want to get dripped up in the dorm. I don't want to be living in the slums. And then after that, I'll start buying different pieces of furniture that increase mood. So as you can see here, for example, if I buy the creepy chest, I get +4 mood, which is pretty good. Obviously not the gem part, but getting the comfort is going to be pretty solid. And this should be the best way of getting mood fast and for very cheap in the game. So I'm very excited. Now that I kind of talked about everything, let's go ahead and start to grind in the campaign, specifically chapter 7 and chapter 8. So let's go. All right, so we're entering chapter 7. Levels should be pretty easy because we got high enough levels and we are stacked up on levels. I think the main problem is going to be in chapter 8. And also I'm now realizing that I should probably rearrange my formation here. I did level up my gear before I went into this battle, so we should be good. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the ships I want to grab while I grind during chapter 7. Firstly, Isuzu is going to be available on 7.3, which she's going to be a pretty good anti-air counter for chapter 13. So I definitely want to pick her up at some point. We don't have to pick her up now, but in the future, once we get around that chapter 12, chapter 13 mark, we're probably going to be struggling with dealing with planes. So picking up Isuzu is going to help a lot. Obviously, we're still going to go for Enterprise. She's going to be our main carrier target in the metal shop. We can also go for Hood as well. I actually planned on using Hood for the mob fleet in replacement of Shuhu, since we already have Claudia Valance as a secondary healer. I feel like having Hood is just going to help clear out the trash a little more. And she also has a 100% chance to increase the reload of our main fleet, so we'll be able to spam our heals and planes a lot faster thanks to the recent changes and additions of the augment modules. Now, I was also thinking about getting Lusty for the mob fleet. I'll have to play test her and see if she's gonna be good for the kind of mob fleet that I'm going for. But if she's not, that's okay. I mean, we pretty much have an endgame mob fleet once we get Hood. In the core data exchange shop, I want to go ahead and grab Rune Muse, mainly because with Independence, yeah, I kind of want her, but right now we're kind of struggling with getting our carrier blueprints, so she can honestly wait. So we're gonna go ahead and grab Rune Muse from the core data exchange when we have enough of the currencies. And of course, we are still going to be wanting to grab Z23, so we can go ahead and get Ayanami once that happens. Hopefully we can get Z23 today. That'd be exciting. We already got Laffy fully limit broken and Javelin fully limit broken. Some ships that we probably don't really need, but I still want to get, include Warspite, mainly because she'll be good for PvP, and she might be decent for like boss stages. I'm not too sure. Probably a lot more inconsistent for boss stages if I do end up using Warspite for PvE, but definitely for PvP she'll be a nice pickup. I also want to go ahead and grab Prince of Wales at some point. Probably gonna be my next War Archive target perhaps, or I can go ahead and start farming Yudachi. It just really depends on where I want to take my fleet. The reason why I want to get Prince of Wales is because she does buff Eagle Union ships, and I think for the boss fleet, I kind of want to do an Eagle Union formation. Either that, or I want to try using Akagi and Kaga for the future. And I will be trying to go ahead and get 3 stars on these stages, mainly because after I get 3 stars on Chapter 7, we should be high enough commander level to reach level 60, so we can do a whole bunch of other stuff by the time I 3-star all these stages. And also we do need a gem, so I can go ahead and unlock the 2nd floor of the dorm. Healing wise, we are doing quite well. Seems like our mob fleet is doing nicely. Our main fleet for the mob fleet is seems like it's struggling a bit, dealing with a lot of SD bombers here, so we're definitely gonna need to get more firepower maybe, or slide in a battleship at some point. So yeah, like I said, Hood will be good for that as well, just being able to help deal with the suicide bombers. Claudia does heal up the main fleet as well, which is very nice. That's something you don't see much, especially with Shuhu. See, that's the problem with Shuhu. She's good, but she can't really heal the main fleet. Claudia can a little bit. I think she heals herself, and she can heal a ship if they are below a certain threshold. Onto the boss, level 72. We should be good. Our lowest level here is 81. Alright, yeah, very easy boss battle, so we'll probably skip the easier levels. We can get this octuple 40mm pom-pom gun. It's actually not that bad of a anti-air gun. I would definitely recommend leveling it up if you are low on quadruple 40mm Bofors anti-air gun. That's not a bad replacement. I think it's only like a couple steps lower than, or a couple steps worse than the quadruple 40mm Bofors. But I definitely would not recommend farming this level for the octuple 40mm pom-pom gun, mainly because for these lower levels you don't want to farm them up because there's no oil cap, so you'll be wasting a lot of oil and it won't be a fun time. Now you could run a one ship, one vanguard, one main fleet formation to farm, but at that point I feel like it's not worth it, because the whole reason why you would even farm here in the first place, mainly for the extra XP that you would be getting on this stage versus chapter 5-4, which is where the Bofors anti-air gun is that I'm talking about. Now I think in the previous episode I did mention that Kala ideas can be placed in either the front or the back, mainly because if she's positioned in the front, then she's still given evasion to the backmost ship and vice versa. I think leaving her in the front is better because I think one of Claudia's skills basically gives the frontmost ship a shield based on 5% of the max HP of the frontmost ship. Since Kala has more HP than Minneapolis just in general, it's probably better to place Kala in the front and Minneapolis in the back. Alrighty, on to 7-2. We can pick up this AA gun right here, the twin 113mm AA gun, which is actually going to be pretty good for Isuzu. It has a high amount of DPS. Well, not high amount of DPS, I should say high amount of damage per shot, which is pretty good on anybody that has a very good anti-air stat. So Isuzu and Sandy, for example, mainly because the whole idea around it is you want to basically one-shot the plane. Now, we can also get the Purple Barracuda here, which is also pretty good. It's one of the better transitional torpedo parallel torpedo bombers, so pretty good for mobbing. Obviously it's purple, so it's not the best of the best, but it's still pretty solid. And we can also farm up some purple steam catapults, which I feel like we don't need. We already have 3 golden steam catapults. I think we have quite a bit of purple steam catapults as well, and I think we have a couple of the aviation oil tanks, or the drop tanks they call it. So I think we're actually good auxiliary wise for our carriers for now. Obviously we could use some more golden steam catapults. For where we're at, I think our main focus needs to be towards specializing, dealing with specific stuff. Right now I want to try to get some anti-air guns, or I guess during my off time as well. I want to try to get some anti-air guns. Later on, I'm going to try to get just better firepower guns. Now, I forgot to mention earlier that I have been farming up in the merit shop as well. I'm not actually too sure who I should get in the merit shop. I don't even know if I want to get like a sub or like Litorio or something. So if y'all have any suggestions, comment down below what ship I should get from the merit shop. And I will probably purchase them by the time the next episode gets released. Oh, we got Hornet, hey! As much as I like Hornet, I don't think she will be, well, it depends. It really just depends what we roll in the metal shop, because if we're able to get Enterprise in the next metal shop rotation, then it's not really worth building up Hornet and Saratoga, because I think before I mentioned Saratoga. If we don't get a CV in the next rotation, or I decide to get Lusty for some reason, then I guess building up a Hornet or Saratoga, one or the other. I don't think it super duper matters, but building up one of them actually might be pretty beneficial. The reason I want to build up Hornet is because she can low-key do a lot of damage if all her skills procs. She's basically just like kind of a knockoff Anti, except without the invulnerability and probably the aviation and the numbers. Oh, we also got Junia, okay. Probably gonna retrofit her at some point. Probably not anytime soon, because I gotta retrofit both Helena and Portland for our cruiser section, so she's gotta be queued in third. Alright, on to 7-3. The 410mm mountain gun and the twin 203 main gun here are gonna be pretty good pickups for this stage specifically. The purple battleship gun that I showed y'all is pretty good for anyone that has a sort of barrage whenever they shoot their main gun. So ships such as Musashi or Mujina or even Tosa as well, they're gonna like that gun quite a bit. Obviously not the best gun for them, but a pretty solid gun while you work your way up towards a better barrage gun. Alright, on to 7-4. Should be as hard as the event boss. Not too worried, I'll be 100% honest. Real quickly before I forget though, I want to go over the gear on the stage. Best thing to grab is definitely going to be the quintuple 533mm torpedo mounts. Pretty low reload, decent damage, decent coverage. Next best thing is probably going to be the purple SG radar, which is going to be something that you're not going to necessarily farm for, because I believe in chapter 6 you can farm the golden SG radar. So farm that stage if you want the SG radar. And then you can also get the anti-torpedo bullets, which is going to be pretty decent going into World 14 as a niche auxiliary piece. It's going to be a transitional HP auxiliary piece as well if you are low on toolboxes and you for some reason don't want to farm 3-4. I'd say farm this stage a little bit. In my personal experience, I find that getting torpedoes in general has been fairly easy. The general consensus is that you should always go for the quadruple or the quintuple torpedoes, whether that be the 530mm torpedo mount or the, I believe it's like 610mm torpedo mount, which does more damage, or the magnetic torpedo mounts. It doesn't really matter. Ideally, you want to go with something that best suits your ship. So for example, Kazagumo prefers spamming her torpedoes, so ideally you want to get a torpedo mount with low reload, so something like the quadruple magnetic torpedo mount or the 533mm quadruple torpedo mount. And even if you have a purple set of torpedoes, it's still pretty solid. Definitely wouldn't prioritize farming torpedoes, IMO, unless if you're running a very heavy destroyer team. But even then, I still feel like the purple torpedoes hold up pretty well. Now, ideally, you'd want to go for magnetic torpedoes, especially for autoplay as well. It makes it a lot easier. You know, things like arena, magnetic torpedoes definitely help out a lot with the consistency. Oh, look at that. We got Erebus on 7-4. A little interesting. She's got a decent barrage. Don't think she'll be 100% useful. But, I mean, she is a fun ship nonetheless, so I'm happy to get her. And she does give tech points, which I'm gonna be honest, I did not realize, but hey, I'll take it. We're on to World 8. But actually, before we do World 8, since we are low on mood, I actually want to do some Operation Siren because I don't think the mood goes down in Operation Siren. So let's go ahead and do that for a bit. Now, Operation Siren by far is my weakest mode. I don't know all of the good stuff to get, I don't know any good tips. I'm actually pretty new to Operation Siren because I hardly do it on my main account. What I do know is that the main reason why you would do Operation Siren is so you can get plus 13 gear. Now, the bad thing about Operation Siren is that we actually don't really have that many strong units at our disposal. But I think we should be able to at least get through Chapter 1 and maybe Chapter 2, I don't know, but we'll see. The whole reason why I really don't like Operation Siren 2 is mainly because of it's just tedious and really boring, and the maps just take forever as well. I did end up getting a pretty good cat IMO. We do have this skill on, I think her name's Lime, yeah, which does decrease damage taken by 3%, which is actually really good. Now, unfortunately, the other talents are not the best. They give a Vanguard and Main Fleet anti-air, and the cat itself, the talent, is not really the best for what we have right now. It basically buffs battleships, but I still think it's pretty good going into Chapter 13 since you do need a lot of anti-air. So we're running our usual boss fleet and mob fleet. I think ideally you want to have special fleets, maybe, one to actually mob and then 3 others to kind of specialize into certain types of damage. So for example, one sort of fleet will specialize in carrier damage, the other one might specialize in shelling, and then the other one torpedoes or something like that. I think that's the way you're actually supposed to sort of tackle Operation Siren in general. What I kind of figured out is that you really only need 1 to 2 fleets that are really good. Usually just a mobbing fleet, a really good mobbing fleet and a really good bossing fleet are usually good enough to tackle the majority of Operation Siren. Now, I could be completely wrong. I know that when you get to the harder Arbiter fights and the Abyssal fights, stuff like that, you're definitely going to need all 4 fleets to be pretty much leveled up to the max in order to tackle those down. But the whole reason I want to get through Chapter 1 is I believe the meta showdowns start to unlock at Chapter 1. The current meta boss right now is Arizona meta. From what I've heard, a pretty mid-tier battleship. I mean, I'll take definitely because we don't have any battleships, so just having like a decent battleship perhaps is going to be pretty solid. And we can also start to unlock all the other past meta ships. So Kiryu meta, Helena meta are both pretty good, and I think Soryu meta just got released not too long ago, so we can go ahead and grab her as well. Of course, leveling them up and using them is going to take forever. I mean, they'll be good. They will be good. I don't know how they will fare in Chapter 14, but I think for like general content, at the very least, they're going to be pretty solid. The best things to usually buy in Operation Siren is definitely the special item tokens if you can, and any of the I'd say the gold materials are an okay pickup, and the golden prints, or yeah, stuff like this, the testing reports, or the ones that have like the pictures of the plane or the main gun or whatever, those are nice to pick up. And then obviously the ultra rare stuff is going to be very good to pick up because they are quite hard to get. Another thing to pick up that's pretty good too is those tuning samples, since they are relatively cheap. And the way the shop works is that there's a set amount of items in each shop. It's basically random what item pops up. So the more items you buy, the less items are in the pool of items for that particular shop. And so you have a higher chance of essentially getting what you want. In terms of Gear Lab, from what I know, and I'll probably have to do a lot more research so I can kind of teach y'all a little bit and explain to y'all a little bit, at least what I think and my thoughts. In terms of fighters, there's this new plane, I believe it's like the Flapjack or something. I think it's pretty good. It does carry 2 1,000-pound bombs, so basically double the damage of the Hellcat, which is kind of that transitional fighter that you can farm up in the normal campaign or get in the tech boxes. And you can build the Flapjack for relatively cheap. There are some other ships that kind of also have that 2 times 1,000-pound bomb. I think the Tiger Cat also has that 2 times 1,000-pound bomb on the plane. I think it has like slightly more evasion and more HP. in speed or something like that. So there's very small differences between the Flapjack and the other planes, at least that I know of. Maybe I'm slightly wrong. I think you can just go for the Flapjack fighter for most of your carriers and still be okay. The main reason why you would even want the Flapjack in the first place is the damage improvement. In terms of torpedo bombers, there is this thing called the Wyvern, which is actually like really good. It's basically the best parallel torpedo bomber in the game as of right now, so it's definitely worth getting. Now the problem is it does require a lot of steps and a lot of just grinding to get, a lot of RNG as well. We probably won't get one anytime soon, but I'll slowly be working my way towards getting the Wyvern. And you also have the Georgia gun as well. I believe it's like the twin 406 something. And we do have some access to some other stuff as well. Like I believe we can craft the Ryusei now. We can craft a Tensen Kai, which is basically the same thing as the Ryusei, except it gives less aviation because it's a lower rarity, and you know, stuff like that. And I think for the next episode, I'll probably try to explain kind of what gear you should go for, at least in my opinion, and the gear you can kind of skip out on and avoid. For those of you that might not know, if you're newer or you're just not familiar with Operation Siren, there are going to be these daily missions that help you unlock the meta fights technically. Well, they give you this thing called, I think it's like dossier analysis, and those essentially are used to, ooh, VIP escort, look at that. But those are essentially going to be used to start a meta fight, and you know, once you beat the meta fight, then you get more points, synchronization points or something like that, which you can use those to unlock the meta ship and various other rewards. Like I think there's skill books, there's the enhancement materials that you use to kind of enhance your meta ships, and I think it gives you cognitive chips and coins as well. The reason why you want to grind through the story as fast as possible, you unlock the daily missions, you essentially get more rewards, and you'll be loving life. And you also get the ability to auto search, which will definitely be very helpful in keeping your sanity in Operation Siren. I don't really necessarily suggest unlocking all the zones right out the gate, especially as a newer Operation Siren player. Once we get done with Chapter 1, we'll probably unlock the meta fight, and we'll probably do that, and then continue on into Chapter 8. Don't think anything crazy is going to happen anytime soon, and I kind of already explained everything I feel like that I can for today. So hopefully for the next episode, I'll be able to cover Operation Siren a lot more in depth. That is, if y'all are interested. If not, then leave a comment down below saying, hey, Volcan, I don't want to hear about Operation Siren. I hate Operation Siren 2. It sucks. It's trash. Just focus on the campaign, okay? Like, if you're down for that, then I'm down for that too. But I think we're going to skip this section for now. Alright, so I did just beat Chapter 1-6, I think. They showed me the Meta Showdown thing. So we're gonna go ahead and start that. I don't really know what the best ship to go for is here. I think they're all pretty solid. I don't know. I don't really know who to go for. Let's just go Helena Meta, actually. And maybe she'll do some good work. Ideally, I'd want to go for a battleship, but we can't get any battleships right now. So we'll start with Helena Meta. We are going to just request help from everyone, and I don't have any friends yet. Thank you, game, for telling me. For this meta fight particularly, I kind of hate it because I'm trash at the meta fight. But I think the whole goal of this meta fight is you basically just want to stay out of the smoke screen that Arizona meta throws out. Ship is level 70, so a little beefy, but nothing I can't handle necessarily. I don't know if we'll be able to clear this in one go, but it would be very nice if we could. Wow, okay, our planes are broken, so that's good to know. So far so easy, but I think the whole goal for the meta fights is that you just want to just request assistance whenever possible. That way you don't actually have to do any work. And whenever you're trying to fight someone else's meta boss, you want to fight the hardest one, because I think it gives the most rewards. I don't know if it gives the most rewards based on the amount of damage you do, but hopefully it doesn't. Because I just went into a level 15 and we're getting absolutely hammered. Well, we got at least a bar down. I guess that's something. But we're definitely going to die very soon. We got 63 synchronization points there. Usually I think on the lower levels you get like 30. Yeah, definitely just try to hit the level 15s. Even if you can't beat it or you know you can't beat it, just try your best. Since I don't have any friends, how about I just leave my name tag up and then maybe you guys can add me. My name tag is Moneybags. Please add me. I'm on the Amagi server. Any Amagi users, please. I need assistance. I'm in dire need of Arizona meta. We kind of need to do the Helena meta fight as well. Obviously gonna try to do this by myself, but I doubt I'll even make a dent. But we'll see. I actually haven't done this meta fight before. Not even on my main, so I don't really know what to expect. But so far it seems like we're doing okay. It seems like we're doing okay considering the level of the meta boss here. I mean, obviously we're not doing damage. Holy shit. I was not ready for that. I kind of got hammered. Oh, this is pretty bad. She's got lasers for days. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's not good. I need friends, and I need my guild to carry me. 46 attempts for 191 oil? You know what? That's not even that bad. I have so much oil. Let's just do that. It only takes 15 minutes? Wait, what the heck? I'll just keep doing that, I guess, until I get Helena meta. But yeah, let's go ahead, and since we completed Chapter 1 of Operation Siren, let's go ahead and do World 8. Alright, so we're entering World 8. This is the same team we're going to be running with. And we can get this destroyer gear, or gun here, the twin 127mm dual gun design, which is pretty good for breaking shields, or I say decent. This should still be relatively easy. We could probably auto the first stage or two, and then we'll have to play manual from here on out. We're going to move on to A2. Main gear you would get here is definitely the quadruple 610mm torpedo design, but again, I wouldn't really recommend farming here unless if you were really desperate for torpedoes, but I would not farm here. I would rather go for 530mm torpedo, which I think is here. Yeah, the quintuple here. It's a lot better IMO, but personal preference up to you. This one does more damage, but it has less torpedoes, so you're getting less coverage for stuff like mobbing, but for bosses, it's a little better. Chips are level 81, we still should be fine, I'm not sweating. When we hit 0 ammo, that will be when shit hits the fan, and we'll probably have to manual, maybe. I doubt it. As long as we're level diffing them and we have a decent amount of gear, we should be good. Alright, well I gotta beat this 2 more times. We beat the boss fairly easily, so here we go again. Oh wow. We got Ikazuchi. Yeah, I forgot. There's a chance to drop Ikazuchi on 8-2 and Inazuma, I think is her name, on 8-1. And they're both unique stage drops, so that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I don't think they're very useful. And I kind of want them on my main account, so I'm a little salty that I got it on this account. But, I mean, hey, I'll take it. That's more fleet points towards the faction technology, fleet technology, whatever it's called. Another Ikazuchi? Oh my goodness. I hate this game. Really? No way. Hold on. I have to actually make sure I'm not hallucinating. No way. I actually got 2 Ikazuchi. That is crazy. Okay, well, that just happened. That's kind of awesome. Oh my gosh. The boss spawned right... Oh, it got fucking barricaded, bruh. That's annoying. Okay. Well, that just makes this round slightly longer. We're on to 8-3. Stages should get a little bit harder, but nothing we can't handle. My game is broken, actually. But 8-3, I don't think there's any crazy drops here. I could be wrong. I know 8-4 you have Maya that we could grab. So we'll go ahead and try to grab Maya at some point. She's definitely not priority, but I mean, if we get her, then we get her, and that'll be good for fleet technology, or if we need like another tank for some reason, which I doubt. We have plenty of tanks. We got Portland, we got Minneapolis, we got Kala. We're gonna get Rune Muse. We have access to other tanks that are probably easier to get. Like a Tago, even though she's not like that great, she's decent. Brooklyn is new. Excuse me? What? I never got Brooklyn before? Okay, that's a little weird. I did. Okay, we got Brooklyn. I guess that's something. We got Glowworm. I mean, she's kind of a meme. Don't think she's necessarily crazy, but I'll take it. Gotta do 8-3 one more time. And this thing, since I forgot to talk about the gear, the triple 155mm mounted gun design. Pretty good gun for the secondary gun slot for your battleships. They do a high amount of damage, but they also have a very high amount of reload. So reason why you want to put it on your battleships as well is because it does provide 45 firepower, which is good for battleships. Because the more firepower you have, the better. There's not going to be a lot of things coming across in your backline most of the time, so it's actually okay to run a gun with a high amount of reload for your battleships. In some situations, like for example, maybe on 10-1, you might opt out of the triple 155mm mounted gun, mainly because it does have the high reload, and there are a lot of things that get across into the backline, so it just really depends, but I don't mind using it. We got Nachi. Okay, we're getting a lot of new ships, which is very awkward. Because I'm like, wow, I didn't even want these ships and I did not know they existed. As in, I didn't know I could farm them until now. But, I mean, hey, I'll take it. The more ships, the merrier, huh? Well, not really. That just means I waste more dock space. Should be the last stage. I'm not worried. Stages, the levels probably go up to 85 to 87. And we still level diff them by a good margin. Haven't had any close calls or anything. Mob fleet has been taking a little bit of damage. There's been a lot of SD bombers, and I don't really like that, because SD bombers basically counter my entire team, both mob fleet and boss fleet wise. We have a crazy amount of sustain right now and just a crazy amount of health, so I'm not even worried about the mob fleet. And the boss fleet, we have Hiryu, and yeah, my Hiryu, I'm gonna be honest, is a little cracked where I'm at right now. Let's see if we get Maya on the first drop. We have been pretty lucky with the drops with Nachi, Ikazuchi, and Glowworm. So let's see if we get lucky again. Nope. Round 4. Surely the round 4 will give me Maya. No Maya, but we did get Javelin and a golden print. I think that's the heavy cruiser gun that I'm using on Minneapolis right now. Yeah, this gun, pretty good for Minneapolis and just any heavy cruiser in general starting out. Alrighty, so we're gonna go move into the Visitors Died in Red War Archive. I think today we are just going to be getting to D1. I don't think we're gonna be farming this up 100% yet. But the whole reason I want to kind of start doing War Archive is because we have 60 tokens for a long time. So I'm just trying to get rid of a little bit. I think for next time and whenever there's not really an event going on, I'll probably farm up the Visitors Died in Red War Archive or just any War Archive in general. But main pickups here are going to be Zuikek. Once we get Zuikek, we can probably stop farming this level, but I think ideally I'd want to farm up to 60 runs on D3 so I can get that guaranteed Zuikek, unless if I already have enough Zuikek to fully limit break her before I hit 60, which is very unlikely, but I mean it is feasible. We could also get some Ryusei prints and the Repu prints as well, which are both pretty solid, Ryusei being the better print of the two. You really don't want to farm up these older events or older war archives, I should say, because the drop rates are very low. If I do want the Ryusei, we can just farm up the Universe and Unison war archive, which is probably a lot better. For the Repu, I mean the Repu is not that good. We can just use the Hellcat in replacement of the Repu, or literally any other fighter that gives a 2x 500 pound bomb. And it's not even that good anymore because there's a new fighter that I mentioned before, the Flapjack fighter, Tiger Cat, you know, things like that that are just significantly better than the Repu and the Hellcat actually. So now the good thing about these war archives, like I mentioned before, is that the levels are fairly easy. They only go up to like level 70 something, I believe, maximum level 80, so it should be easier than what we did in the campaign. So I'm not sweating, and you only had to clear the stage one time. Boss battle took a little long, but that's to be fair. We have no damage whatsoever except for Hiryu and of course our Vanguard damage, which is not the best. Nothing exciting on C2. Ship levels are relatively low as well, as I mentioned before. I think on D3 as well. Now I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can get Akatsuki as well, which is from the core data exchange, so I think if we do get her to drop while we do farm for Zuikaku, I think that'll be pretty good. Alright, boss for C3. Let's see if we can beat it. Level 70. As long as our Vanguard doesn't die, we should be good. I trust Hiryu as solo main fleet DPS. Alright, boss battle. 75 bars of health, level 75. Yukikaze died like immediately to Hiryu planes. Hiryu's going out again. Did about 4 chunks of HP. Minneapolis, I feel like, is putting in some work, and so is Helena as well. Hiryu's low. It doesn't matter. We have final counter. And they're dead anyway. Okay, this is a lot harder than I had anticipated, but hopefully the hard stages of D3 are a little better. Let's go ahead and move into D1. I'm very scared. Having no battleships is definitely hurting us right now. If we had battleships, this would be a very clean sweep. And this isn't even D3, this is just D1. They're only level 70, so we're still pretty much level diffing them. I'm not worried about the Vanguard losing HP for the mob fleet. It's more about the main fleet. Hoping Claudia heals is enough. If not, I guess we can slide in Unicorn. Problem is Unicorn can't really heal the main fleet. Boss Tom finally level 72. Hiryu, Soryu. We have no SD protection in the main fleet, but we have much better DPS for the boss, so I'm excited. Hopefully Soryu, Hiryu do not disappoint me. We beat the boss pretty easily. Moving on to D2 and run the same fleet. Hopefully nothing terrible goes wrong. A lot of planes coming across. I don't like that. Claudia's about to go down. That's something you don't like to see. She's living on a damn thread. I think this should be the last 3 enemies, hopefully. As long as Kaga can survive, we should be good. Mob fleet's looking fresh AF. Ah, no, we're dead. We're dead. Damn, that's tough. I'm pretty sure the boss fleet can do fairly well. Kind of unfortunate the mob fleet died, but I guess it's to be expected when you're running Nevada at your 3rd ship slot. I think that'll be the objective for by the time we hit the next episode as well. Is just have like maybe 1 or 2 battleships just built up and ready. Okay, Shukek level 76. Had 80 bars to start, down to 76 already. The carrier doesn't seem to be moving, I don't think, so pretty good for Hiryu and Soryu's stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have any converging torpedo bombers on me. Should have maybe brought like a Tensin if I had one. I don't think I do though. Main fleet's doing pretty good. Soryu and Hiryu are a little low. We got a lot of planes. Okay, now it's looking a little dicey. Shukaku's minions are dying. Final counter. You hate to see it. Okay, let's enter manual mode for a bit. I still don't think we can win this. Yeah, we're probably dead here. No? She was still invincible? Okay, it's doable. Let's start ramming. I hate this game. She sent the planes further than I could. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Let's just stop right there. I don't want to waste too many of the tokens yet. Because I want to at least make sure I have enough mood to do some 5-4 farming. So I can get this, the quadruple 40mm Bofors gun. So, let's go ahead and farm that. Alright, so I knocked off about 3.5k oil, I want to say. I would keep farming, but our ships are pretty low mood from all the grinding we did. We did a lot of grinding, so I was only able to make this gun right here, the octuple 40mm pom-pom gun, which is pretty decent. So I'm going to go ahead and just build it right here. Now, we did get a few quadruple 40mm Bofors blueprints. As you can tell, we have 10 of them right now. I think originally we had like 1 from doing the research projects. So that's pretty good. We'll probably have 1 soon. And we actually ended up, or I ended up getting a quadruple 40mm Bofors AA gun, the exact gun that I need prints for. I got this from a random tech box. Pretty happy about that. We'll probably start sticking these on our light cruisers. Really quickly, actually, before I forget, I have to announce the winner and probably specify the rules of the cube jar, okay? I don't think I did a good job in the past. So this is how it's gonna work from here on out. you're still gonna comment down below on how many cubes I have, but I'm gonna give you a certain time limit. I'm gonna give y'all from when the video gets released to 1 week to sort of make your guesses. That way, like whenever I'm actually making the video, I don't have someone else randomly comment like a guess that's closer to the cube count, because that would be a little awkward. So I'll give you guys a week from when the video is published. When I'm distributing rewards, I'm having trouble contacting people, so I think the way I'm going to contact people is that I'm going to comment down on your comment. So look for my comment once I make the next episode, and I'll tell you kind of like the details and what to do from there on out, just so you guys understand. Because I think before I was like, yeah, just go on Discord, but nah, that's too much work for y'all, I feel like. So I'll just comment down below and we'll talk about it. So moving on to the winner of the guessing the wisdom cubes in the cube tribute jar. The winner is gonna be Josh X9706 with a guess of 261 cubes, and I think I had a grand total of 251 wisdom cubes, so off by 10, which is quite a bit, but not that much. So congratulations to you. I will be commenting on your comment, so look forward to that. For the next episode and from during my off time, I want to be farming for more anti-air guns on 5.4. I want to be slowly working toward the war archive, at least getting to D3 and maybe farming that up a little bit, trying to work my way towards Zuikaku. And then I'll also be doing some Operation Siren, mainly unlocking zones if I can, and then also doing the meta showdowns as well. So there's probably going to be a lot of things I'm going to be doing in my off time. And then also we are going to be doing, as you might could tell, we're going to be doing the new UR event for the next episode. So look forward to that. A little sneak peek. Hornet 2, we're probably going to grab the new UR plane. I mean, we're probably going to grab because it's a UR, and we're going to grab Hellcat HVAR mounted version. I don't even know if it's good or not. I have to look into the event and do my research, but Hornet 2 we're going to grab, and I believe we can grab Longlead 2 as well from the point accumulation. But for now, I'm done talking. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your boy. Support your boy out. Comment down below if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or any suggestions that you may have moving on into the future. I know some of y'all have been giving me suggestions over what ships I should use, what to do and what not to do, and I've been trying to take that in and kind of use that to my advantage. So first of all, thank you for the advice. It really does mean a lot. Much appreciated. And also, thank you for the support as well. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video, and I will see you guys next time. Love you guys, and peace.